In a massive victory for common sense, the state of Tennessee officially banned sex change operations for minors today. Before we get deeper into this video, please click the like and subscribe buttons, turn the notifications on, share around if you're feeling generous, follow my socials, Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, Caleb Salvatore Comedy on TikTok, my show, That's Based, outlawstreamers.com. It's available on Rumble, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. We also post clips of it on YouTube, but they don't let us do the full episodes here. This is obviously something that's been in the works for a while. It's been something that's been hotly debated for a while, and I honestly don't know why. I can't believe this is a discussion that we even have to have. It's completely insane to me that this is the central issue that people are fighting over. Because 5 years ago, you could even ask the most hard left people you know how they felt about, sex change operations, gender-affirming hormones or whatever for minors, and they were almost all against it, right? They would say they had the average take, right? Which is, yeah, I support trans people and their right to be themselves, but not this whole, not on kids. Like, they can wait till they're adults. Well, that's gone out the window. That's gone kaput. Once Big Pharma realized they could make about $1 million a kid on these operations and on this care for the rest of their lives, that the Democratic Party platform suddenly changed. Isn't it crazy how Big Pharma, realizing how much money they could make on these operations and this gender-affirming care, and the Democratic Party's general consensus making a massive shift to the left, kind of happened at the same time? Isn't that wild? Here's what we know. We know three things, right? Three things for sure about this, like actual scientific studies, right? We know that there haven't been any long-term studies on this because this hasn't been done for that long. This is something that we just recently started doing. These kids, make no mistake, are the lab rats. We have no idea what the long-term effects will be, okay? The second thing we know, when children, and this is a very limited study, both of the next two studies I'm going to cite are because, like I said, revert back to point one, we haven't been doing this that long. When children receive gender-affirming care, such as hormones, treatments, surgeries, things like that, over 90% of them go on to continue living as transgender or as whatever gender they made up, right? And we know that, I'm not making an edgy joke about this, approximately 41% of transgenders will go on to attempt suicide at some point in their life. The third thing we know, when kids with gender dysphoria don't receive gender-affirming care, over 90% of them just go on to be gay or lesbian, bisexual, whatever. That's it. Being gay does not come with a 41% suicide rate. So those are the three things we know. You can make your decision as you will with that. The mainstream media and the far left love to point these bills that ban sex change surgeries for minors as anti-LGBT. They're not anti-LGBT. They've tried to conflate everything under the guise of, or under the umbrella of gay people. And a lot of gay people have got to be fed up with this. I know plenty that are. It's nothing to do with gay people. It's not an anti-LGBT bill. It's a bill that bans sex changes for minors. They're not saying you can't be trans. They're just saying you can't make a kid whose brain hasn't fully developed go through with a permanent surgery that's going to sterilize them and mutilate them. I don't think that's unreasonable. If we can get over some of the rhetoric, I mean, listen, if an adult wants to be transgender, that's fine. I don't care, man. I really doesn't. Do you do what makes you happy, right? It doesn't bother me. But you can't push it on kids, and I think that's where you've screwed up. That's where you've jumped the gun, and I think what you're going to start seeing is a lot of people overcorrect, and we talk about this on That's Based all the time. You're going to see a big overcorrection coming up here. People are going to start fighting fire with fire, and I think a lot of innocent people that really had nothing to do with this are going to get caught in the crossfire. You don't have to be anti-trans to be against children getting mutilated and sterilized. That should go without saying. But the left has this all or nothing approach to it that you're either all in and you're with us or you're against us the whole way. It's complete lunacy. And like I said, 90%, there's studies show that 90% of these kids will go on to not be the gender that they thought they were when they had their gender dysphoric period, but rather be gay or lesbian. If anything, these surgeries are eradicating gay people. Because you've got teachers, I mean, if kids want to play with Barbies, not even gay kids, just maybe slightly more feminine male, you get teachers and parents pushing this stuff on them. I said the other day, man, like I've seen all these posts about like non-binary 4-year-olds, and it's just insane from the parents' perspective. Like if I could go back and tell 14-year-old Caleb what the future was going to be like, he would be much more grateful to be raised by an alcoholic. Like, that's all I can say, man. You know, I find it completely insane that they've tried to conflate these issues instead of debating the actual issues. They want to conflate it all as well. If you don't support mutilating children, if you don't support sex changes for children, if you don't support putting them on hormones that are going to have serious long-term effects for the rest of their lives, pushing them toward a lifestyle that has a 41% suicide attempt rate, then you're a homophobe. You hate the gay couple down the street. I'm like, what? How does that have anything to do with it? I just wish people could stop being so disingenuous about this whole issue. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did the bill go too far? Was it just right? Did it not go far enough? Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Just a quick little video. We take on big issues, right? Emergency broadcasts, right? Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Share around if you're feeling generous. Turn the notifications on. Follow my socials in the description. Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram. You also have a link to my weekly show. It drops every Saturday. We're kind of talking about this stuff on the show. That's Based with Caleb Salvatore. Rumble, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. If you want to see a preview of it, there's clips of it all over this YouTube channel. There's a whole playlist for it. Go check it out now. Thank you guys so much. Cheat on your taxes, not your spouse. Peace out and stay based.